Today's video is about how to use the Q&A to do your reporting and do queries about your fixed asset register. And the assumption is that you've done a lot of work in Q&A already, and this is just sort of to get you started in the asset register, doing reports and summaries and expanding and drill downs and all into your assets. All right, before we go too far, I want to point out to you in our new financial statements, or they're not so new anymore, we have very nice reports already that answer many of the auditor's questions on your fixed assets. So for example, this one takes, for the current year, it takes the cost, the accumulated depreciation, and the net book value and the depreciation expense for each of your types of assets, okay, for the current year and for the previous year. And then it takes another report here, it does the changes. So it takes your cost at the beginning of the year, additions, deletions, and gives you at the end of the year, and the same for your accumulated depreciation. Beginning of the year, additions and deletions for your ending accumulated depreciation. So this right here is where a lot of people are anxious to get these types of reports. They're in the new financial statements. You need to get going on those, and there's a whole series of videos on how to use them. Now all of these numbers are all drill downable, if that's a good word. You can drill down on it, specify, and I want to see the asset code and the asset code name that makes up that number. So I'm here, I just clicked the beginning balance here on buildings, let's say, what makes up that number. So I'll drill down, specify, and I'll come down and right here, the fixed asset register is right here under this AR, and we can open that baby up. And that is a little bit poorly laid out, because here is the asset code that I want, and then that description of the asset is right here. So they've stuck these three things in here, which belong under fixed asset register, but they shouldn't have stuck them right here. I think they did it because it's alphabetical or something. Okay, but it really should have asset code and description right there beside each other. So we go like this, and we get those baby, and there are the assets that make up the number. And so that's pretty sharp. Okay, so let's let me close the financial statements, and let's just come up and do a little report here to demonstrate working with fixed assets. So here, the cost of the asset, and this is the accumulated depreciation of the asset. Okay, and then we have the book value. Okay, so we'll skip a line, maybe draw a line under there, just a little project. You'll see what we're doing in just a second. It'll come right to you. This is a very quick project just to get you started. Okay, and so I'm going to take all of the cost right here for all of the fixed assets, and so this is going to be a summary link. This is going to be cool. Okay, we'll take the ledger and the account code, and let's take all of our fixed asset accounts, not the 9. So let's go 201, and remember the 2 to 208 ZZZ. Okay, so we stopped short of picking up the accumulated depreciation accounts. Okay, so this is just picking up the main asset account. All right, and so let's go 1844001. Okay, and we want this report as of 2014 012. Okay, we're getting this ready, let's say, for the auditor, and we have base amount. All right, this is going to be quick. All right, let's format it there. So it's just that. And then I'm going to copy this one just because I'm a little bit on the lazy side, and we'll paste it. And we're going to change the account on this one so it's picking up the accumulated depreciation account. All the accumulated depreciation account. Let's see if this works. Okay, so we've got this here, and then the book value is that. All right, and remember, the accumulated depreciation is going to be a credit balance. It's going to be a negative figure there. And so we'll just let it stay negative. So this is going to be a positive number, and this is going to be negative. If you didn't want it to be negative, I don't think I do want it to be negative. So I think I'm going to come over here, take this, double click that, and reverse the sign. Okay. And so now to get my book value, I have to go and subtract C7 minus E7, because this is going to be C is a positive number, D is going to be a positive number, but we've got to subtract a D from C to get the book value. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, so we'll extract it. Okay. Now I could have done this for just a certain one, just like for equipment, or just for I could have done it, just for all the vehicles and all, but right now, just for the fun of it, I did it just all. Whenever you are doing a calculation, you have got to, I see now, right now I need to hit enter, and it locks down that equation. And so let's calculate it. Okay, pretty close. All right, fix the formatting of it. Let's try it again. Okay, that's beautiful. All right, so now I'm going to take this and expand it. Okay, specify, and I want to expand it by the I'm going to expand it by the asset code and the description. Okay, now while I'm here, I think you see which way this baby's going to head, so let me just show you other things that we have under here. So for example, I have all these notes that I could be putting out into a report. I could get a report of my presets. Okay, right here are all my presets. So I might want to report to see have I got all my presets set up right. Okay, so like I said, don't let this poor structure here confuse you. These are not headings of this stuff below. They are interlopers that have jumped in between. Okay, so it's the main level is asset code, description, lookup code, and all this. And then these are subgroups of the notes and the presets, which are also interesting thing to put out into a report. Okay, maybe we'll do that in a second. So I go OK, and so here are all of my assets listed, and here you can see I have some assets that do not have a code. Okay, which would be alarming, and I would have to investigate why in the world I do not have an asset code on those assets. And you could drill down on that and find out. Now, if you really want to do something cool, then we'll take all of these assets, if you don't have too many of them, you see, and you can go like that, and we're going to expand again, specify the period. Let's see what we get here. So we do period. Let's see, it's a lot of work that it's doing there. Start this running and go to lunch, and you could see the depreciation, the purchase of it coming in of this asset. This looks to me oh, I see, I've got this thing a little bit too low. Let's go all the way to the top. So here we have the purchase of the asset coming in, and then all of its depreciation that's been recorded each month, purchase coming in, depreciation recorded each month, and so forth. Okay, and so it gets you nice tidy reports about that. Now the sort of the focus of that sheet has been, the sheet that we just did was sort of to give you a report on what's depreciated, as if you're preparing something to give the auditor. But you can also do things like a to see and manage your assets, that have they been set up correctly. So let's just go down here and do a summary report. Okay, define criteria, and I'm going to do a summary report, and it's in the ledger and account code, and I can do this for all of my asset accounts. Let's see, what was that, 201 to 208. Take a peek at it there, make sure I got it right. I think that does it. We'll go okay. And accounting period is from 1844. Remember, anytime you're working with a balance sheet account, you start with 1844 and you go to the period you want your balance to be. Okay. And you could do something like this. Let's go and do a listing of my assets, the asset code, the description of the asset, the preset, okay, what was the resources being, that would be the function for you 5-4 folks, the fund, is it been set up correctly, and the function and the restriction. Okay, so you then 5-4 would just do fund, function, restriction, but 6 people need to do resource, fund, function, restriction, and we go okay. Well, and then we may want to know something else about the asset. Okay, we'll go okay, and we'll list that baby out, and we can check to see if we have set this baby up correctly. Okay, so it lists all of our assets, the description of the asset, what function is depreciation being charged, what resource the depreciation being charged to, fund, function, okay. And remember, in 6, the function is the department using the asset according to the accounting manual, and the restriction, to see if it's all been set up correctly. And you can, continuing our little, just sort of quick examples, we could do an asset listing for the department, okay? And let's see how we would do that, okay? So we could say, we'll do a summary report, table, ledger, asset code, fixed asset. All right, we'll pick up 200 to 208. Okay, and we'll go okay with that. Accounting period is, since it's an asset, we've got to start with 1844, and we go to 2014-012. And now I hope this works. Even if it doesn't work, I think I'll leave this in the video. Okay, I'm not exactly sure about the underlying data, but we have down here under our fixed asset, we want to put out the code, the description, okay, and then we're going to come down here and we have the department that has the asset and the location. Okay, and to make this thing interesting, let's move the department to the beginning, okay, and let's see what we get. So this should list the department that is holding the asset, the name of the asset, and the number of the asset and its description, and then the identified location. I'm not sure we have all our assets set up, but let's just see what we get. Okay, it worked. And so now we're able to talk about doing a fixed asset inventory of going to find all of our stuff. Okay, so this is the department that's responsible. This is the name of the assets that they are holding and the location of where the assets are supposed to be. So that gives you at least enough to get started in thinking about using Q&A in the fixed asset arena. Now, this is the last of our videos on fixed assets, and I've enjoyed making them. And I appreciate your loyalty in watching. I know sometimes they get a little bit long. If you have another topic in fixed assets and you'd like another video on fixed asset covering another aspect, I'll be happy to do it. And if you want a video on anything, let us know and we will try our best to make it. We appreciate you being a loyal SunPlus users, and we want to do everything we possibly can to be helpful to you. So just let us know. Go to our Yammer site, join Yammer, and join in the conversation there, especially in the area of talking about videos you'd like to see or topics you'd like training on. So thanks a lot. See you next time. Bye.